back to my channel. It's your girl Kim, and today I am here with a special guest, my husband.
What up, though?
We're gonna call him B. This Mr. B, Coach B. That's what we'll call you.
What's up, y'all?
So this is a special video. I'm doing a series about support systems. I've gotten a lot of comments from you all about how do I get my family involved, or my family is not supportive, or my friends are not supportive. So I'm doing a little series where I'm interviewing my support system on this journey. Hopefully it'll help you be able to have these conversations with your loved ones or your support system as you go through VSG. So he doesn't know anything that I'm gonna ask him. So he's not prepared for any questions. So the first question I have for you is, how did you feel when I first told you that I was going to have weight loss surgery?
Oh, I was excited because, I know this is something that we've been talking about as I battled through the same journey of trying to get myself healthy. One of the things that you finally, you wanted to do it and you decided to do it, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm always going to be supportive of anything that you're doing. And I was excited for you.
Were you scared at all? Did you have any nerves or anything?
I was a little afraid, but I just knew, man, it was something you wanted to do, and God had his hand on it too. I would say my prayers, and I was, but I was a little scared though.
Is there anything that I could have done or could have said to make you less nervous or less scared?
No, I have issues with anxiety, so unfortunately there were some things going on that I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Like when you actually had the procedure done, it was at the time, it was some stuff that was work-wise stuff that was popping.
So what he's trying to say is the day of surgery, the night of surgery, he was not with me. He did not come to the hospital with me or spend the night with me. Not because the hospital couldn't. I could have one person with me, but he had other commitments, so he could not come the day of surgery.
And you wanted your mom.
I did want my mom. And
there was only one person, and I was willing to sacrifice,
Were you willing to sacrifice, or you was more concerned about basketball? Let's be honest, y'all. He's a basketball coach, and it was playoff season.
Region tournament,
and they had a game the day of my surgery. So
you and your mom have such a close relationship.
Ladies out there, if your husband decides that other things are happening in life and he can't make it, it'll be okay as long as you have another support system. He did check in with my mom. He couldn't really check in with me because I was under anesthesia. I was out. He was not there the day of surgery. But when I came home, what was going on with me? What made it challenging when I got home? Did you have a little attitude at first?
Secretly, I did not have attitude. You know what I was more frustrated about? Man, I just felt like I couldn't do more. I'm always a person who wants to help everybody or try to I don't want people to be in pain or suffering. So that caused me anxiety a lot about, when you couldn't do certain things or whatever. I was a little, I felt helpless. And so you know how I am when I feel helpless. I think I'm frustrated.
So what he's saying, I think, is, which I didn't know this. I didn't know that you had anxiety. Yes. I didn't know that the anxiety was what was making you frustrated.
Yeah.
Which was making me frustrated because I couldn't do anything. And I was on my period. He had to see and experience some things that he didn't really want to or think he was going to.
Man, I ain't never, what I did, I ain't never had to do it. I ain't even see them with the...
It was bad, everybody. He had to clean up after me because I couldn't.
And I wasn't frustrated about that. I was not frustrated about cleaning up after you.
My period was actually, I think, worse than my actual recovery, right? Because I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. You can't lift anything. You can't reach anything. So really all of our household duties had to fall to him, and he is not the household person.
I call it basketball.
He's not the one to really do anything. So he had to wash my clothes, and his parents helped wash clothes. He had to figure out food for himself because I couldn't eat or anything. His parents made me soup and stuff.
Yeah, and shout out to my pops too.
I'll say this, so that means get yourself some great in-laws.
Too, like her parents are really cool.
I go to day 5. You went with me to my follow-up appointment with the doctor.
Yep.
And so what was that experience like, meeting my surgeon for the first time and, hearing him talk about my progress?
It was cool. One thing I do wish though, I wish we could have did this together.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, I would love to have went through the same. I just don't know if both of us could have been in the house like that.
It's not something you could do at the same time, but the surgeon did say that oftentimes when one person in the couple does it, the husband follows later.
That's influenced me to be like, but I've been motivated by you because, I mean, you looking great. Like,
thanks.
Like you really looking good.
I feel like I'm looking good. Y'all like my new braids? Got it done today. I'm cute. But I think I look good. So day 6 was my hardest day throughout this whole journey. I was miserable that day. Honestly, the worst day. And the reason why I was feeling that way is because my love language is what?
Is giving. Not giving. What I just said? Like acts of giving.
There are 5 love languages, right? People often love from the language that they have, not the language of the other person. So he clearly still, after 8 years of being together, does not know my love language.
I said acts of giving.
It's not giving.
Like when you do something for somebody.
What's that called?
Man, I don't know, but it's when you do something for somebody.
Acts of service.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a pretty independent person, so to not be able to do things and to rely on him to do it, and I'm expecting him to just do it and know without me having to ask, was a challenge for me because I just needed him to just do without me having to ask him to do. Once I expressed how I felt, he listened. And he responded accordingly. We didn't have to have the conversation about that again. What advice would you give a partner or a spouse for someone who's going through it? Say, because I've gotten some comments where people's spouses or their partners are not supportive, or they don't know how to talk to them about it. So, what's some advice you would give?
Slow down. Number one, like slow down and hear each other out. And the key for both parties is patience. Like you gotta be patient. Like she's gotta be patient with you. You gotta be patient with her. Family's gotta be patient with family. People gotta be patient with, everybody's gotta be patient.
So he every day asks what's for dinner pretty much, but I don't have an appetite or I can't eat that much.
But let me say this.
So asking what's for dinner in general is a challenge for me. So I think in our relationship, or maybe in your relationship, you're really going to have to talk about how you do food differently.
Let me say this. I don't ask man, fix me something to eat or you got to give me something to eat. I'm usually coming home. And so I want to make sure. There was a long time ago, long time. So there was one time that you came to the apartment and I didn't know. So I just stopped and got me something to eat. And you were like, I never forget, you said something to the effect of me getting something to eat and not asking you. So from then on, that's why I always ask, and it's not just me saying, oh man, are you gonna get some, or do you want, are you gonna cook or whatever? 9 times out of 10, when I'm coming home, I always ask, do you, my what's for dinner is a signal of, do you want me to get you something to eat? And that's what I usually say. Let the people know.
I'm learning that. That's what what's for dinner means.
And let these folks know.
I am a person, again, my love language is acts of service. So if someone is asking what's for dinner, I interpret that as you want me to provide a service. Not saying I'm out. Can I get you something for dinner? After surgery, dinner or lunch or meals become a challenge in a partnership because your eating habits change, right? The things that I could eat, I don't want to eat, I don't have an appetite for. If he brings home juicy crab or any kind of seafood boil, I may eat a shrimp or two, but I can't tolerate the smell of that really. So what's for dinner that has changed and been different post-surgery. So how come you don't share your meals when we're out? You know I can't eat but so much.
I really be looking forward to it, so I be trying to savor. Savor the little flavor. And then you just want to dig in my plate.
But I can only eat so much. So I don't know why you don't want to share all the time. It'll save money if we share, because I'm not going to eat it. Especially if I can't get a kid's meal. I'm only going to eat but so much. So
I'm just waiting on you to ask for a kid's meal one day, and then they do you like they did Earn on ATL.
And what happened?
They said you ain't no. I don't see no kid. Can't get no kid.
They did do that. Remember when we?
Oh yeah, they did. They did hit you with that.
They did hit me with it. You got to be 12.
What was that at?
The point of this is the takeaway of this is when you're having conversations, and I learned something in this conversation with your spouse or your partner. A lot of the lack of support is out of their own anxiety or their own fear because they don't want anything to happen to you or they don't want life to be different than what they know. So it's up to you, the person who's having the surgery, to provide them with information up front, include them as much in the process to help calm their nerves or anxiety.
When you take away from the normalcy of what happens in an everyday situation and how people adjust and how they have to do certain things or how they feed themselves or how they clean, you know what I mean? And it becomes scary. I didn't want to tell you some of my anxieties because I had to be strong. I couldn't tell you like, man, this is how I really feel. This is why I'm, you know what I mean?
But you should be able to tell me how you really feel. Because you're not telling me how you really feel.
But then you'll be more worried.
No.
I seen you do it.
I wasn't going to worry about your anxiety because I was confident in the choice that I was making.
My hope is that you inspire a lot of people who see this video to do this. You know, because it's life-saving and life-changing. Man, I remember, like, when you finally got approved, man, you cried. You know what I'm saying?
I had a rough time trying to get approved.
But it wasn't even about, but no, you were crying because it was tears of joy. It wasn't tears of sadness. It was tears of joy. And I was like, man, like I was really, really excited. I was like, man, this is really big. I'm a Leo.
We're both Leos. Our birthdays are 4 days apart. So what I say to that is, when we're good, we're good. And when we are roaring, we are roaring. That's what I
we have more goods than roaring.
We have more goods than roaring, but we both want attention. We both want our own attention. And we both can't have all the attention at the same time. And I'm cute, so. Hey, speaking of me being cute, what are your thoughts about people complimenting me?
I mean, I think everybody wants their wife complimented.
How do you feel about your wife being complimented? He is not answering the question.
I mean, I thought I did.
But you're not answering the question. How do you feel about being complimented?
I don't have no problem with it. I don't have no problem.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, I thought people should have complimented you before. They probably did.
But honestly though, I probably was also putting out energy where I didn't want you to compliment me. So I'll take responsibility for that. That was probably my energy. But now I am happier, I am lighter, And I mean lighter in my spirit and lighter in my weight. I feel more like myself. Like I haven't felt like this in a very long time. So what do you hope will be our next steps as a couple as I go through this?
I mean, just continue to get healthy together. Because I know I need to get healthy. So you're doing this to motivate me.
So I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit about us. You learned a little bit about how you could get support from your partner or spouse on going through this journey with you. And maybe this won't be his last time joining us, but anything you want to say to the people?
Just make sure you support your partner. Do it together. Like I said, health, you shouldn't take that lightly. So just do it together and lock in.
Lock in? Okay. We're going to lock in. And while we lock in, you all make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure to comment. And I'll see you the next time.